From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight,
Bimbo Oloide.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, the Oba of Lagos and other prominent Nigerians back call by the president for violence-free elections. Nigerian government acquires new warship from the United States with a capacity of 146 personnel to strengthen fight against pirates. Fresh fuel scarcity hits Benin City, Edo State. Marketers claim they are not getting supplies. And United Nations says it's possible to end the spread of the deadly Ebola virus disease in 2015.
On business news, capital market operators review activities at the Nigerian Stock Exchange in 2014.
Sports news, Nigerian international Vincent Inyama wins the best goalkeeper award in France.
About 15 people have been reported killed by gunmen at Ambe-Madaki village in Sanga local government area of Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria. The attack is coming barely a week after some men attacked Tataru village in the same council, killing 10 people and injuring several others. An eyewitness told Channels Television that the gunmen, who were armed with sophisticated weapons, stormed the village around 4 a.m. this morning and started shooting sporadically. They razed about 20 houses. The spokesman for the Kaduna State Police Command, Aminu Lawan, could not be reached for comments, but a security source in Sanga who craved anonymity confirmed the attack. Raising the bar in the conduct of the elections in Nigeria appears to be the emphasis of prominent Nigerians and also civil society groups in the country. For Nigeria's former permanent representative to the United Nations, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, the non-implementation of past election reports encourages electoral malpractices and violence in Nigeria. His view was echoed by other members of civil society groups who explained at a forum in Abuja that if past committees' reports on the prevention of electoral violence were fully implemented by government, the tension ahead of the 2015 general elections would have been reduced.
Efforts to reduce tensions and violence during the February elections has made Professor Atahiru Jega to meet with stakeholders at different fora in December last year. During those meetings, Professor Jega repeatedly raised concern over the conduct of politicians as a threat to peaceful elections in February.
The greatest challenge and threat to 2015 general elections as we see it in the Commission is the conduct capable of generating and inciting conflicts and violence by many critical stakeholders in the political process.
Meanwhile, members of civil society groups say lack of implementation of past committees' reports contributes to reoccurrence of electoral violence in Nigeria.
I think if the Nigerians are determined and the leaders have the political will to address the issue of violence, it can be done. And I wish, of course, we can cry over spilled milk. The Gatimari reports, the Lemu reports, all these Kaduna government reports, they should have been implemented. So we must ensure that when the government sets up committees, the recommendations are implemented.
They also believe that lack of punishment for perpetrators of electoral violence in the past is a huge challenge to peaceful elections.
Sheikh Lemu's report talked about those aspects that led to the post-election violence in 2011. And there were we were told there are a number of arrests that were made. But up to today, there is no prosecution of a single person. And if you don't have prosecution, where is the deterrence?
With about 8 weeks to the elections, activists say there is need to meet candidates of prominent political parties before the polls.
Looking at the PDP and you're looking at the APC, we intend to visit the flag bearers of both parties, not only at presidential level, but at governorship level, because they have a lot to do. They can, in terms of maintaining peace.
While many citizens wish for peaceful elections in February, the conducts of politicians and their followers surely have a major role to play.
The Oba of Lagos, Rilwan Akiolu, is backing the president's call for peaceful and violence-free elections in February 2015. In an interview today with our correspondent, Kelvin Obetin, the monarch also appealed to politicians to play by the rules of the game and to display a sense of maturity, which he says is the only way the nation's democracy can thrive.
Which is for this election that I want a peaceful conduct of the election. The vote of the people should count, and support of every Nigerian to overcome our security challenges. And all our leaders, if they saw something, they must be honest to a fault about it. We've all heard what the #1 citizen said, that he wants a peaceful conduct of election, and says the blood of any Nigerian does not want anybody to live. That is how it should be. If they keep to it, that is the way of God, all will be well.
The Christmas and New Year celebration may have been eventful for most Nigerians, but as 2015 progresses, citizens may have to come to terms with certain realities. Violence-free 2015 elections, the extinction of the Boko Haram sect, and peace in the nation are top on the list of expectations. This report chronicles what the nation's citizens look forward to in this new year.
As the past year rolled out with its gains and travails, a new year dawns, brimming with expectation. Many Nigerians are already voicing their opinion on what they would like to see in the new year, beginning in the health sector. A concerned party believes that the primary healthcare sector must be upgraded and funding greatly improved.
I believe government should not renege on the issue of public-private partnership and endowment drives, because I believe it's going to help, more or less buffer the challenges that they have at the moment. The idea of concessionaire hospitals for 15-20 years should not be something of a shock. I think the government should not shy away from taking such bold steps.
From health to education, the Vice-Chancellor, University of Ibadan, and the Pro-Chancellor, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, say the faithful implementation of agreements between the unions and government remains critical to effectiveness in the sector.
2015 will mark the beginning of a new era for universities in this country, and particularly for the education sector. We hope that government will keep faith to the agreement signed with the unions. Government will release funds as promised, and that the managers in the university system will use the funds judiciously.
I would like government to be firmer on the issue of funding of tertiary institutions. Certainly it cannot be sustained by government alone.
Insecurity has been a sore point for the nation, especially in the past year, but many citizens are looking forward to a more secure nation.
I pray for successful election and free and fair election, and I pray that we say goodbye to Boko Haram.
My wishes for the country is that I want a Nigeria that is violence-free. I expect that by the end of the election, there should not be any problem.
We as mothers who are standing, we are saying, whoever says there will not be peace will be consumed. Will be consumed because we shall have peace.
With all the expectations, one thing that is needful and of utmost priority is an economy that would ensure social and infrastructural upliftment for the nation's citizens.
Nigerians have asked parents and community leaders to help ensure that their wards desist from being used to perpetrate violence in the forthcoming general elections. Many of them, who came out to major fun spots in Abuja, said the first step towards the attainment of free, fair and credible elections lies solely with Nigerians. They're also asking Nigerians to come out en masse to vote for leaders of their choice.
It's a beehive of activities at the Millennium Park where residents of the Federal Capital Territory gathered to spend time with family and friends. The Idil Malud break also afforded them the opportunity to unwind.
I can see those places very lively. Everybody are enjoying themselves the way they want. So I like this place.
Besides catching fun, many of these Nigerians also anticipate free, fair and credible elections which is devoid of violence.
Well, we look forward that leaders will be elected, and those leaders will definitely have to drive the train that will carry the populace. And we also expect that the leaders should be mindful of those that voted them, those that have given them their mandates, with a view of bettering their life. And we also believe in God that whoever that emerges victorious becomes the president, we definitely have to work for the people.
They also want parents to ensure that their children and wards stay clear of being used as thugs in the forthcoming elections. This, according to them, is the first step towards ensuring that the election is peaceful.
Parents should sit their wards, their children sit them down, talk to them. All these people that use them, their children are in overseas studying. It's the poor ones, the middle class, they use because of a peanut of 1,500 naira. But if parents will sit their children down, apart from sitting them down talking, they should put it in prayer that my children should not be involved in this. If they know that these people after the election, they will no longer know you. It's just 500 or 1,000 or a drink, and you just waste your life. When we begin to understand that it's not an issue of government, we parents, community leaders at home, youth leaders should know about this, that you must live for tomorrow.
It's expected that the relative peace witnessed during this season will continue even after the February general elections.
In part two, after the break, some aggrieved citizens of River State reject the governorship candidate of the PDP for the 2015 election, but the party leadership in the state calls them dreamers. Well, that's in a moment. Do stay with us.